sometimes or one things related with the principal diagram. Yeah, probably one of them is a block flow diagram or process flow diagram. Yeah, maybe you already know the symbol of the unit operation, the symbol of this equipment. Yeah, so for today we try to know more about this principal diagram. Yeah, and then this principal diagram is becoming one of the primary knowledge, one of the primary capability of the chemical engineering that you have. Yeah. So for example, a chemical engineering is not called as a chemical engineering if he or she cannot make a block flow diagram. Yeah, so they have to know, to understand, and also able to create, to make what so called the process flow diagram or block flow diagram. Yeah, so it's become the primary capability of chemical engineering. Yeah, so for the second week of the class of process equipment, yeah, wait a moment, I think I have to record. Yeah, wait a moment. Someone already pressed the recording. Okay. For today class, I would like to deliver related with the principal diagram or technical diagram that commonly used by chemical engineering. Okay. Actually, there are many type of principal diagram. Yeah, when you want to build or construct a chemical plant. Yeah. But for today, I will only focus for block flow diagram, process flow diagram or PFD, and also PNID, piping instrumentation diagram. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I will just show you another type of diagram. For example, the utility diagram. Utility diagram is actually almost similar with the process flow diagram, but focusing on the utility area. Yeah. And then other type, for example, that 3D isometric diagram is also available. Yeah, but usually it's used when you deal with, for example, piping engineer. Yeah, if you discuss with piping engineer, usually we discuss the 3D isometric diagram. Yeah, but because it's mostly is yeah, focusing on the 3D model, 3D model, three-dimensional model. So we will not cover during this class. Yeah. So for today class, we only cover BFD, PFD, and PNID. Yeah. And then the second is the important one also, the standard method for presenting BFD, PFD, and PNID. Those three principal diagram has the quality how we present these three diagram. So you have to fulfill the minimum requirement how to present the BFD, PFD, and also PNID. Yeah. So from this class, I will also cover about the standard how we present BFD, PFD, and also PNID. Okay, I think we are ready now. We will start the class. Okay, I will move to the next slide. Okay, I will start with the importance of technical diagram. Yeah, as I mentioned in the previous class, yeah, when we deal with the chemical engineer or we discuss with chemical engineer, especially when the chemical engineer coming from other country, we have a problem related with the language. Yeah, for example, that the chemical engineering coming from UK or United States. So that person will prefer to discuss in English. Yeah, and for us coming from Indonesia, our mother language is Indonesia, for example. Yeah, so again that we prefer we talk in Indonesia. Yeah, in bahasa. Yeah, and sometimes yeah, when we talk in English, for example, yeah, we try to understand what other engineers talking. Sometimes they are missing, yeah, a missing of understanding, missing in terms of parameter, and then some other missing also coming, yeah, when the person trying to describe about the process, yeah. So in this case, we need a universal language. Yeah. So universal language is used when we discuss something. So we will have the same understanding between us and then between other engineers or other parties. We have the same opinion related with that process. Yeah. For example, the sequence of the process. First, we have to spare it, yeah, and then the second, we have to do the reaction, yeah. So by describing, by using a language, sometimes that yeah, because of the understanding of the language, for example, that we cannot understand about the spiration, okay, directly that we jump to the reaction. Okay, we miss the spiration because of what was because the understanding related with the sparator is not fully covered. Yeah. So by this condition, so the discussion in terms of the process will not be ideal. Yeah. So we need the universal language to cover about this matter. Yeah, that is the reason why in chemical engineering we propose a universal language related with the process, which called as the principal diagram or technical diagram. It is the same with the other engineering studies, yeah. For example, mechanical engineering or also physical engineering, piping engineering, yeah, civil engineering, that they usually have their own universal language, yeah, to understand between the engineer among the different countries, yeah. So by using a technical diagram or principal diagram, yeah, we can omit or we can reduce the error, yeah, from miscommunication between person and also group. Yeah, this is the importance. Yeah, so that is the reason. Yeah, you have to understand first about the principal diagram. So you cannot have the discussion with the other engineers. Yeah, understanding the technical diagram if you don't have the knowledge of this technical diagram. So this is the technical diagram becoming very important in chemical engineering. Okay, and then the second one, even for the analysis, for the formulation of the process, yeah, we will make it in the technical diagram. So you have to have a skill related with the how to analyze, how to interpret the diagram. So at the end of this class, yeah, you have a homework, yeah, that you have to do is how to describe, how to make a narration, how to make a story related with the process diagram. Okay, so don't worry about that one. Okay, I will guide you if you have a problem related how to describe, how to make a story related with the process flow diagram. But the important one here is you have to understand about the BFD, PFD, and also PNID. How to make a stream, how to draw a unit operation, how to put the process condition, the symbol of the process condition, for example, pressure, flow rate, yeah, temperature, and etc. And how to put the table for the material balance. Yeah, that's also the important things that we will learn. So we can conclude here that the most effective way for communication and information between the chemical engineer is through the flow diagram. Yeah, I think this slide is very clear to you related the importance of a technical diagram. Yeah, and then yeah, also the other important of technical diagram is related with the modification of the plan. Yeah. For example, there is a change in the operation of the plant, in a day, and then you would like to present to your boss, I think it will be quite many parameters that you have to tell to your boss. For example, the pressure has changed, the temperature has changed, the flow rate has changed, and etc. So the best way how to deliver the presentation is actually by showing the principal diagram completed with the different in terms of change of process condition. This could be the best way. For example, you put the picture of the process flow diagram, and then at the bottom you put the new condition because of the change of the operation related with the operation parameter, pressure, temperature, flow rate for each stream, even with the composition as well. This could be the best way, to make other parties or your boss or other engineer to understand about the difference between the operation of today with other days. So this is the very common way for that for us chemical engineering in the plant, how to deliver the different operation condition. For example, it's shown in here the quality of the raw material may be changed. So sometimes you have a difficulty. What is the changes in terms of material? The best way is shown in the process flow diagram. The changes may be in composition. Which composition that changes? For example, one specific component is more higher compared to the others. Or something like that one. So we can put it in the table of what is mass and heat balance in the process flow diagram, and then we can show or we can deliver that information. And then the product specification could be raised. For example, the purity is higher than before. So again, then we put it information in the process flow diagram in the table of heat and material balance. So any improvement, any changes of that process can be also covered by showing the technical diagram in which area of the process that has changed. For example, the separation unit has changed, so we can just adjust the process operation, process variable in the separation unit by changing the PFD or the data of the principal diagram. So this could be again the importance of a technical diagram, and also the advantage of the technical diagram compare with you when you trying to describe it by language. It will be very long, very long narration, long story. But by using principal diagram, it will simply just change the value of P, for example, the value of T, or the value of flow rate. So it will be easier. So by understanding the technical diagram, you can have many activities that you can do. For example, the diagnose the operation problem. Because why? When you know about the PFD, so you know already the configuration of the plant. When the PFD already equipped with the material and heat balance, you already know about the stream definition. Stream definition, it means that you know the composition, you know the pressure, you know the temperature, and you know the flow rate. So by just showing that principal diagram, you can see what is the probably the error or the malfunction of the unit. For example, you have the cooler using the air cooling system. And then the outlet of the air cooling system, for today PFD, for example, the process flow diagram for today is mean that the temperature is around 50 degrees C. Okay, and then by comparing with the previous process flow diagram for the previous day, you will understand. Oh, in the yesterday PFD, yeah, the temperature is still, for example, 36 degrees Celsius, and then today it's much higher, which is literally 50 degrees Celsius, and then you can directly point out that there is a problem with our air cooler. Yeah, so it will be easier to understand based on the PFD, and also you can find the reason why the temperature is getting higher, yeah, through the PFD as well. Yeah, how about the pressure? Yeah, oh, the pressure of the flow is related the same. Okay, so it means there is no problem related with the pressure delivery. Yeah, how about the flow rate? Oh, the flow rate is much higher compared to the yesterday operation by showing that comparing the PFD. Ah, okay, this could be the reason why the outlet temperature much higher compared to yesterday. Probably now today operation the flow rate is much higher also compared to yesterday. So the capacity of my air cooler is not enough. So that's why the reason why the outlet temperature is much higher compared to yesterday. Again, this is by comparing the our technical diagram and information inside the technical diagram. Okay. So by knowing the problem, we can solve the problem in the operation. Yeah, and also the bottlenecking. Yeah. I already mentioned, I think, in the last week class, yeah, related with the bottlenecking. So by knowing the bottlenecking, the position of that unit operation that limit the production, yeah, we will have very good knowledge when we have a program of the bottlenecking. We can improve the performance of that unit, or we can increase or edit a new unit operation that now the bottlenecking will not occur again in our plan. Yeah, and then the last one, the predict the effect of making change in the operation. So again, yeah, understanding the technical diagram, you can be able to maintain the profitability of your plant operation. Yeah, because you understand really very well, very easily by using the technical diagram. As you know that from the picture that I gave to you last week, yeah, when you see the picture of a plant, chemical plant, industrial plant is usually very complex. But when you move to the process diagram, actually it's much be easier to understand about the process. Yeah, it's very difficult. Then you come to the plant and directly you go to the site, yeah, and see the operation there. So it's much better again to understand first about the technical diagram of the plant, and then after that you go to the site. Yeah, that's also the reason why usually in internship program, yeah, the field chemical engineering from chemical engineer from the plant give first about the principal diagram, yeah, to understand first about the process, because it's much easier to have understanding from that principal diagram rather than you directly jump to the field and then see the operation of the plant. Yeah, okay. Yeah, do you have any question? Is it clear? Yeah, any comment before I continue to the next slide?
No, sir.
Okay, it's
It's
clear,
clear.
yeah? Okay. So I will now move to the three flow diagram that you have to be able or to have to understand in chemical engineering. The first one is a block flow diagram, yeah, or BFD. Yeah, the second one is process flow diagram or PFD, and then the third one, piping and instrumentation diagram or PNID. Yeah, these are three process flow diagram that you have to understand. Yeah, the other process flow diagram, for example, 3D isometric diagram, yeah, and then for example, hydraulic diagram. Okay, this also important. Yeah, but I think yeah, this three first you have to understand. Yeah, because there are any others technical diagram as well. Okay, and then for example for electrical there is also one line diagram for the electrical, yeah, utility diagram for the utility, yeah, and other type of diagram, yeah, tie in list diagram, yeah, when you have to connect the pipe, yeah, and others, yeah. But we focus on these three diagrams, BFD, PFD, and also PNID. Yeah. And now we move first to the block flow diagram. Yeah. This block flow diagram is the simplest, okay, the most simple flow diagram compared to the others two. Yeah. Because it consists only a block. Yeah, only a block that representing different equipment, yeah, that connect the input and output, yeah. So this is the most simplest process flow diagram, but usually, yeah, before jump to the PFD, we have to understand about this block flow diagram first, yeah. Sometimes I call the block flow diagram is a macro flow diagram. Macro it's mean that is general. Okay, is if you understand related with the what is management view, block flow diagram is a kind of the helicopter view. Okay, we do not jump to the detail of the operation, but we just know from the surface that this chemical process has this kind of area. For example, spiration area, and then after spiration area, the reaction area, and then after the reaction area is again separation area, okay, and then spiration area, and then the product, okay. So this spiration area, yeah, is called is one block. Reaction area also put it in the one block, and then spiration second spiration area it is the other blocks. Yeah, we don't know about information about what kind of the spiration that you use. Yeah, we don't know about what kind of the reactor or what kind of type of the reaction that you use for the reaction area. We don't know about that in the BFD. Yeah, so the information, technical information is very limited in there. Yeah, but we know about the macro. We know about the general configuration of the plant. Yeah, okay. Actually, the basic sequence of the plant it will be spiration, reaction, spiration, and then product, something like that one. Yeah. So yeah, although it's limited, yeah, usually that we give as well some important information. Yeah, for example, the operation temperature, person, conversion, and then flow rate. Yeah, and sometimes chemical composition. Yeah, this is only very basic information. Yeah, that we give in the block flow diagram. And this information actually is not in all stream. Yeah, we select the important stream and we select the information, the important information that we would like to put in there. For example, for the methanol industry, for example, in the methanol industry, yeah, you want to have the production of methanol with the purity of above 95%. Yeah, so the important information and you put in the BFD actually in the product, yeah, the purity is 95 above 95%, something like that one. Yeah, We didn't put the composition in every line, in every stream. No, we just put this information, the important information, in the specific important stream. Yeah. And then in the block flow diagram, we omit any detail related with the equipment. As I mentioned before, yeah, we don't know about the what type of the aspiration that we will use. Yeah, we don't know in BFD. Yeah, what type of the reactor, whether you will use adiabatic or you should be using the, for example, the catalytic system, yeah, or non-catalytic system. We don't know about that information in BFD. Yeah, so this is very basic. That's why I call the macro flow diagram or helicopter view flow diagram. Okay, because the information is very limited, but it is much easier to understand the BFD, the industrial from block flow diagram. Yeah, and then there are two types of block flow diagram. First is a block flow process diagram and block flow plan diagram. What's the difference between process flow diagram and block plan diagram? Okay, before going to there, I will give you example. Yeah, this is the example. We have a narration. Yeah, the narration of that process is something like this one. Toluene and hydrogen are converted in a reactor to produce benzene and methane. The reaction does not go to the completion. The excess toluene is required. Yeah, then non. Okay, I've been disconnected. It's quite long or just a short period?
No, sir, it was a short period, sir.
Okay.
Very short.
Yeah. Okay. So I will continue. The non-condensable gas aspirated and discharged. The benzene product and unreacted toluene as then separated by distillation. The toluene is then recycled back to the reactor because toluene is still what is important. Not, I mean that this is important and also very expensive. So if we discharge the unreacted toluene, so it become first is waste, and then the second it will be costly. Yeah. So the remaining toluene, unreacted toluene, we will recycle back to the reactor. Yeah, and then the benzene remove the product stream. Yeah, this is the short narration, the short story about the plan. Yeah, you have to be able to make it into the BFD. So please understand about the story, because sometimes in the examination, yeah, also there is a question related story, and then you may have to make a BFD or a BFD. Yeah, usually in the narration of the process, yeah, it will have a sequence. Yeah, so follow the sequence. Yeah, for example, like this one. Yeah, toluene and hydrogen are converted in reactor to produce benzene and methane. Yeah, this is very important, becoming the in-out parameter, in-out specification. So it's mean that this plan has input or feedstock, yeah, toluene and hydrogen. This is the feedstock of this plant. Okay. And then the product, it will be benzene and methane. Okay. So you already have, okay, the component for the inlet and then the component for the outlet. The component for the inlet is toluene and hydrogen, and then the outlet, it will be benzene and methane. Okay. And then the reaction does not go to completion, and then the excess toluene is required. Yeah, and then non-condensable gas aspirated as discharged. Yeah, so from the second sentence, you will understand that there will be a block of reaction in your plant. Because why? Yeah, although it's not mentioned a word of a block of reaction, but it's already mentioned in the second sentence, the reaction. Yeah, there is a word reaction. So it's mean that to produce benzene, yeah, you have to react, yeah, between the component, the feedstock of toluene and hydrogen. Yeah. After that, yeah, the third sentence, the non-condensable gas are aspirated and discharged. So you will again have the information that in this brand there will be a block of spiration. Because why? Yeah, because in the third sentence it mentioned about the spirited, yeah, about the spiration and discharge. Yeah, so there will be a spiration. And then benzene product and unreacted product are then spirited by distillation. Again, this is emphasized that the previous sentence that in this plan we have spiration. At least there will be a two-stage spiration. The first spiration actually to spirit the non-condensable gas. Non-condensable gas in this process, for example, the hydrogen, yeah, and also methane. Yeah, why it's called non-condensable gas? Actually, it's also possible to condense the hydrogen and methane, but it takes very low temperature, yeah, for the methane and then hydrogen for condense. Yeah, for example, for the methane at atmospheric pressure, you require minus 160 or 155 degrees C. Yeah, very low. So that's why this gas is sometimes we call it as non-condensable gas. Yeah, and then the second state spiration, actually we would like to spirit between the product, which is benzene, and then unreacted toluene. Yeah, so it will use the distillation, and then the last sentence mentioned about the recycle. Yeah, the block of recycle. Why? The toluene is then recycled back to the reactor and then removed to the product system. So we can make a sequence there. Yeah, as I mentioned. Yeah. So there will be block of the reactor. Yeah. Why? Because the second sentence. Yeah. It will reactant between toluene and hydrogen as a feedstock. First sentence. Yeah. And then the second block, it will be the gas spiration. Yeah, it's around third sentence. Yeah, third sentence that uncondensable gas blah 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 will be spirited and then discharged. So it's mean that we will have block of the gas spiration in here. Yeah, and then non-condensable gas it will be discharged here. Okay, and then the second stage spiration that will split or will spirit between the unreacted toluene in the bottom, yeah, and then the product which is benzene. Okay, and then we have also in the last sentence, yeah, we will have the recycle of the toluene, yeah, back to the reactor. Yeah, so by understanding about the description of the process, narration of the process, yeah, we can create a simple block flow diagram. Okay, yeah. So is it clear to you how to transform the description of the process into the block flow diagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, it's clear, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Clear, sir.
So I mean that please carefully read the text. Yeah, carefully read the what is the storyline. Yeah, and then sentence by sentence it will have important what is important in yeah, there will be important some things that you can transform in for your BFD. Okay. Okay. Now this BFD, yeah, we don't know about the type of the reactor. Yeah, in BFD we will not put information about the reaction system. Yeah, And also about the gas separation, whether we will use the two-phase separator, three-phase separator, okay, or membrane, or any kind of the separation unit. We don't know about information about that. We just know that there will be a block or a area that consists of unit operation. I don't know about the unit operation, that, but this unit operation will have a function, yeah, to separate between the non-condensable gas and then the liquid. Only that, yeah. And also this distillation, we don't know about whether it will be tray distillation or it will be a pack system distillation. Yeah, we don't know about that one. Okay, just we put the blocks. Yeah, that will be a distillation that separate the present as a product and then recycle remaining toluene. Yeah, so we very limited information in terms of technical. Yeah, but by knowing this one, yeah, by knowing this system, yeah, you will understand. Oh, my plan is complex. My plan is not complex. Why I can say plan is complex and not complex? Based on your PFD, you will know that is, oh, in my plan there will be a reactor. In my plan there will be a gas separation, and also in my plan there will be a separation between the benzene and toluene. Yeah. So when you come first time come to the industrial plant, usually for me I will request the block flow diagram first. Yeah, not process flow diagram, not PNID. Yeah, I will look at in the BFD first. Yeah, to understand in the helicopter view and to understand in the macro first. Yeah, after you understand about this one, you can jump or you can go to the detailed technical information of BFD. Yeah, but brief information, yeah, it will be nice to look at in the BFD first. Okay. Okay, I will conclude about this block flow diagram. So operation shown by block. So we have only block in here. Yeah, so there will be no very complicated symbol. We only have a block. Yeah, major flow line shown arrow giving the direction. Okay, remember to give the arrow, yeah. Yeah, for example this one, okay, the line, straight line, and then give the arrow. It means that the direction of the flow. Okay, and then this is also important. Flow goes from the left to the right if it's possible. Okay, so left from the feedstock, okay, or the feed, okay, and then goes to the right and then end up in the what is the right side, which is the product. Okay, if it's possible you make like that one, so it will be very good. Yeah, so from the left to the right. Okay, like stream gas top toward top, and then heavy stream liquid or solid toward the bottom. So number 4 is kind of the consensus. Okay, so a kind of agreement. Yeah, the fluid that has a lighter density, yeah, it will go above than the fluid that has the higher density. Yeah, for example, gas has a lighter density, yeah, and then liquid has a heavier density than gas. So when you make a separation, yeah, it will be go from the top is the gas, and then the light, and then liquid, it will go to the bottom. Yeah, so this is the consensus. Don't make a change in terms of this one. For example, that you have a block separation and then gas goes to the bottom and then light goes to the top. No, not like that one. This is not correct. Yeah. Although the meaning is the same, yeah, with the separation, the block separation, that gas to the top, yeah, light from the bottom, you can argue that the important is separation, sure. So gas and then liquid is separated. Yes, it's the important inspiration, but again, there is agreement that the gas will go to the top, and then liquid or the solid it will go to the bottom. This is the agreement. Yeah, because something like this one, if you make a correct stream, so other engineer will argue that is you understand about the process. Yeah, something like this one. Huh? You produce the light stream in the bottom and heavy stream in the top. So is it correct? And then sometimes are you a chemical engineer? Okay, and so this is the consensus that hopefully you understand that you have to follow that. Yeah, critical information or unique information, yeah, have to be supplied in this. For example, this one. This is the important information, the flow rate of the toluene. Yeah, for example, the flow rate of the product benzene, which is 8,000 something. Okay, and then the if line cross, then the horizontal line is continuous and the vertical line is broken. Yeah, so we don't have this one, yeah, but we will have later. Yeah, simplified material balance is provided. Yeah, sometimes also we don't need to put the information of 7. Yeah, but sometimes also a company provided simple mass balance for this block flow diagram to make a better understanding. Yeah, but it's not it's optional. Yeah, because usually the block flow diagram is enough by showing this schematic or block diagram such like this one. Okay. Okay, I will continue. Yeah. Okay, this is the example of block flow plan diagram because previously I mentioned about this one. There are two types of block flow diagram. The first one is a block flow process diagram and then block flow plan diagram. Yeah, and this one is shown to you is a block flow plan diagram. Yeah, so in the case of the block flow plan diagram, is a bit complicated compared to the block flow process diagram, such like this one. Okay, why? Because in the block flow plan diagram, we include the, for example, this one, utility steam. Yeah, cryogenic O2 plant, which is this one is a utility as well. Okay, that you supply the oxygen. Yeah. This makes that block flow plan diagram is usually more complicated. Yeah, for example, this one. Yeah, this is the hydrolysis cost plan. Okay, sometimes it's not included in the main process. It is just a supporting unit. So because the supporting unit is included in the block flow plan diagram, it will look very complicated, more complicated than the process block flow process diagram. Again, why? Because we include the what is in here utility, and then supporting unit. But again, it's the same with the previous block flow process diagram. We don't have any figure except the block. Only box that we have. For example, this one box of sour gas cistern, box of Rectisol. Rectisol is the name of the process. And then block of alcohol synthesis. We don't know about the unit of the alcohol synthesis. Alcohol separation, we don't know whether it's separator, two-phase separator, three-phase separator, or distillation column. We just know that there will be a block of alcohol separation. And then this is the example of the block flow plan diagram for the refinery. And then this is from the, I think this from the Balikpapan refinery. This is the example. block of CDU, block of the HVU. CDU is mean that the crude distillation unit. HVU is mean that is high vacuum unit. Yeah, and then the LPG, liquefied petroleum unit, petroleum gas. Yeah, and then the platformer. Yeah, by using the PT. Yeah, HCU, HVU, high vacuum unit. Yeah, and then this one is the example in terms of the block flow diagram of plant. Yeah, yeah. So by showing this one, when you come to the, for example, the refinery unit of Balikpapan, you will understand that is, oh, I can easily understand that this plant has the CDU5 that treated the domestic crude and then producing solar, for example. Yeah. Oh, the solar is coming from this CDU. Okay. Yeah, and then for the LPG, LPG is coming from the LPG recovery unit. Yeah. So helicopter view will help you to understand quickly. Yeah, about the schematic business process of the plant. Yeah. Okay. How about the BFD? Is it clear to you? Any question related with the BFD? If there is no question, I will move to the PFD. How about the BFD? Block flow diagram. Any question?
Not yet, sir, for me.
Okay,
For me, not yet, sir.
Okay, it's clear, yeah. Okay, I will move to the process flow diagram. This is the second flow diagram. Yeah, different from block flow diagram. In process flow diagram, you already put the information of the equipment. Yeah. So for me, for the process flow diagram is actually the description, okay, or the detail of the BFD. Yeah. So when you make a principal diagram, first make a BFD. After the BFD is correct, yeah, so you just change the block into the unit symbol or equipment symbol, something like that one. Okay, so that is the reason process flow diagram is more complicated compared to the block flow diagram, because the piece equipment, the major piece equipment should be represented in that principal diagram. Okay, and then the second, all process flow stream will be shown and identified by number. Yeah, remember in the block diagram, yeah, you have, for example, from the reaction to the gasification, okay, you just connect by the arrow, the line, and then the arrow and the direction of the flow, and like that one. But in the process flow diagram, you have to identify, yeah, all stream that, especially major stream, yeah, that existing in the process, and then you have to put the number on it. Because why? In that number, yeah, it will correspond to the table of heat and material balance. Yeah, so this data will be either displayed directly in the PFD or in the company flow summary table. Flow summary table, what is flow summary table? It will consist of information of flow rate, pressure, temperature, and then also component. Yeah. The utility stream supplied to the major equipment, yeah, and also should be shown, yeah, and then the basic loop is also to be shown as well. Okay, I will show to you that is the, yeah, the PFD. Yeah, but the basic information that we provide in PFD is consists of process topology, stream information, and equipment information, which is these two things, yeah, did not describe in the previous block flow diagram. In block flow diagram, only very brief process topology. Yeah. But in here it will be more detailed. Yeah. In block flow diagram, only for example the important one, you put the information related with the stream, and then the information is also limited, very limited. For example, that one benzene is only flow rate. Yeah, but in here you have to have a relatively complete information in terms of the mass balance. Previously, we don't have equipment information, only block, only box. Yeah, but in here you will have to do that one. Okay. Now first I will go to the equipment symbol. Yeah. Uh, you can know about the symbol, okay, from the internet, for example. Okay, I believe that in the internet, okay, you will have many information about that one, about the symbol of the equipment. You can just write down in the keyword as a keyword, for example, the symbol of separator in process flow diagram. Okay, they in the image Google they will show you any kind of the symbol for the PFD. Okay, this slide just to give you an insight, okay, related the symbol that you can use for the PFD. Okay, it's not complete. Okay, you can have more complete in the again in the Google, or you can find in the internet. Okay, so okay, but the things that I want to mention to you is related that don't make symbol by yourself. Okay, again, why? Because the PFD will be used as the universal language for the chemical engineer. If you introduce a new equipment symbol by yourself, so it means that this other chemical engineer from other part of the world will not understand what kind of symbol is this. Yeah. So my suggestion, strongly I suggest, follow the available symbol, okay, that is already exists in the textbook or in the Google that I mentioned, okay, and use it. Okay. Don't make any improvement. Okay. In the case of the improvement, for example, the pixel, the picture is more clear. It's okay. It's not like that one. Improvement, I mean that is, for example, in this case, for the centrifugal pump, it will have the symbol something look like the here, okay, about the circle, okay, and then the arrow. Don't change the circle with the box one. Okay, don't do that. Okay, just follow using the already available and already accepted symbol of centrifugal pump. Yeah, so what is don't make any improvement. If you want to make it bigger, okay. If we want to make smaller, okay. So in PFD, actually we just use it. Yeah, not to what is to change the, for example, the circle with the box, yeah, or you put another, for example, to make it better, yeah, you add the what is inner circle and then outer circle, not something like that one, yeah. So the interpretation will be different, and then also the other engineer will not be able to understand what actually the unit operation that you want to use in this PFD, yeah. And second suggestion is actually that every unit, every specific unit has a different symbol. For example, I give you example in here is for the centrifugal pump, it will have different symbol with the rotary pump. Okay. Okay, can you see my pointer, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this one, the centrifugal pump, has the symbol something like this one. Actually, this symbol show the concept of the centrifugal system, okay, which has that your liquid is coming to the pump, and then by using the centrifugal force, okay, it will go out, okay. And then for the rotary pump, so it will have a different symbol because the process philosophy is different, okay, just using by the blade in terms of rotary. Okay, so again it's different. Okay, so when you use the rotary pump, don't use the symbol of centrifugal pump. Okay, or the opposite. If you use the centrifugal pump, don't use the rotary pump symbol. Okay, use the proper symbol for your existing or the current unit operation. Okay, this is very important. Okay, and then the other one you can see, yeah, this is the symbol for the cell and tube, yeah, yeah, and then this is the symbol for the condenser. And remember, for the condenser, yeah, remember that the arrow in here is it will go up. Yeah, it shows that the temperature of that cooler will be higher. The utility flow of the cooler will be higher. So that is the reason that the symbol for the condenser for this the arrow, yeah, it will go up. Yeah, and then the opposite for the lab boiler, yeah, for the utility flow, the temperature will be decreased. Yeah, so this is the reason that the arrow direction is go down. Yeah, so this one the again is also agreement. Yeah, don't change the condenser symbol with the regular one. Okay, and also the regular with the condenser one. No, don't change that one. If you use the condenser, please use this symbol. And then for the regular, using this symbol, because the direction of the go up and then go down, it shown the utility temperature. Yeah, will be the temperature will be higher or will be lower. Yeah, and then for the cell and tube, it's also important. Yeah, it's mean that is the utility or the flow, fluid flow from the left to the right. It's mean that it will go to the tube side, while the other flow, yeah, the other fluid, it go to the cell side. Yeah, so remember about that one. If you have that, for example, the stream goes to the tube side, so it's mean that you have to make the direction from the left to the right, something like this one. But it's coming to the cell side, so it will be like this one. Okay, yeah. So it's not, but it's understandable. Okay. And then the other, for example, thermosiphon reboiler. Okay, thermosiphon is look like when you boil the water in your kitchen. Yeah, so the concept is look like convection. Yeah, convection. It's mean that is when you heat the water. Yeah, so the temperature will increase, and increasing temperature will reduce the density of the water. So the hot water will go up. Yeah, the cold water will go down, and then there will circulate. So it's kind of a thermosiphon system. Yeah, so it's mean that is in the fluid in here will go up. Yeah, and then up. It's mean that the temperature is already hot. Yeah, and then it will go to the system again. Okay, this is the kettle, and then air cooled. Okay, fire. Okay, okay, okay. And then the problem is, do you have guys Visio, MS Visio? Do you have MS Visio?
I don't, sir.
You don't have? Okay, this is also the important software for the chemical engineering to make the PFD. Okay, my suggestion, strong suggestion, you have to install MS Visio, yeah. And then now to learn how to make this kind of symbol in your Visio, because why? Only few symbol are already exist in the Visio as a template. Okay, but most of them you have to make it by yourself. Yeah, for example, cell and tube heat exchanger is not available in the Visio. You have to make it yourself. Yeah, and then rotary dyer, for example, also it's not available in the Visio. You have to make it by yourself. Okay, and then I will continue with the equipment symbol. This is for the column, tray column. Remember, how about difference between tray column and then pack column? You can see in these two figures. Yeah. In the case of the tray, so you will make a straight line inside the column. Yeah. And then we put the tray number. For example, this one, there is a number of 1, 14, and 35. It means that is for this line, for the top line, it will be tray number 1. And then second line, okay, in the middle one, it will be tray number 14. And then the last one, yeah, it will be tray number 35. Yeah. So you don't need to make what is 35 line here. Yeah, so it will be very crowded. Usually we just draw the line which is important, that is for the tray number 1 is due to the what is recycle from the condenser. Yeah, sometimes we call it as a reflux. Yeah, this is reflux, so it's coming to the tray number 1. And then why is tray number 14? Because tray number 14 is the coming from that stream of feed. Okay, and then tray 35, which is tray of the bottom, it is from the bolt up line. Okay, so usually for the tray, okay, we draw the horizontal line inside the tray column, okay, and then we put the number on it. Yeah, and then for pack system, yeah, what we do is to make a box inside your column. Yeah, the number of the box that you have, it's mean that the number of the pack that you have in the existing plan. For example, yeah, in this case, yeah, in the example figure, they have 2 box. Yeah, box in the top and then box in the bottom. So it's mean that in the real plan, there will be 2 package system. Yeah, top package system and then lower package system or bottom package system. Okay, and then for pack system, yeah, we put the cross inside the box. Yeah, so it's mean that it's already agreement, it's already agreed by other chemical engineer all over the world. Yeah, by showing this 2 picture, you can define which one is tray column or pack column. Yeah, so again, follow this figure. How about if we have a multi-stage stirrer column, for example, for the liquid extraction? Nah, okay. In the middle, in the figure in the middle, you can see that is if you have the multi-stage stirrer column, for example, for the extraction process, yeah, liquid extraction, you will have to put the symbol like this one. Yeah, for the spray column as well, you have to put the symbol like. So just follow the symbol. You don't need to think about the symbol. Just follow. Yeah, use it. Yeah, and then for the vessel, yeah, you can see in the right side. Yeah, there are many type of tank. For example, just use it. Yeah, which one that you will use for your process. Okay, this is for the conveyor. Okay, many type also conveyor. Okay, follow the one that match with your equipment. Okay, and this one is for the separator. Okay, this one for the mixing. Even for the blade, there are so many type of blade. Yeah. Yeah, select the proper one. Yeah, this one for the driver. Yeah, for example, using the motor driver or the using the electrical driver. Yeah, it will be also have different driver in the chemical process is usually used to make it the rotating equipment moving. Yeah, for example, to move the pump, you need the electrical. So it means that you will use the electrical driver to rotate the pump. Yeah, or electrical is not the only option for to operate the plant or to operate the your pump to rotate the blade of the pump. You can use, for example, turbine as the driver. Yeah, whether gas turbine or steam turbine. Okay, it means that if you have steam, so mean from the high pressure, for example, to the low pressure steam, yeah, reducing from the high to low, it means there is a conversion in terms of the mechanical. So by mechanical transformation, you can rotate your your pump, the blade of your pump. Yeah, that's called as the driver. Okay, and then the symbol for that process parameter, for example, in here, yeah, just follow this one also. Don't change this one into the box. For example, for the mass flow rate, I prefer for the mass flow rate, I will use the box. Yeah, yeah, no. Yeah, just use the symbol something look like this one. Yeah, and then this one is the for the molar flow rate, temperature, pressure. Pressure usually circle. So don't change again into the triangular. No. Don't do that one. Okay, just follow the agreement that we already have. Okay, that other engineer from all over the world will understand about your symbol. Okay, and then in terms of PFD, we have to also define the equipment number, okay, or equipment code. Yeah. Usually for the compressor, for example, compressor will have the code sometimes C, sometimes K. Yeah, C from the compressor or K for the compressor. Yeah. Usually in the chemical plant, you will have the code, for example, K100. It means that K is for the compressor, 100 is the number of the unit. Yeah. So if you have two compressor, they will put, for example, K100 and then K101. Yeah. So it's similar like your student ID. Yeah. 130 is for chemical engineering, right? Yeah. And then what is your 18? Yeah, I think your batch 18, 2018, 18 for your batch, and then the last three number is your for your ID, right? Yeah, something similar, something like that one. Yeah, so 130 in this case changed by this code. For example, the compressor is C, okay, or K. Yeah, and then your ID is also number. Yeah, so it will become, for example, C100, something like that one. Okay, this is the example of that PFD. Yeah, when you draw a PFD, yeah, please look at in this slide carefully. Yeah, in the middle of your canvas or your screen, you will see the equipment. Yeah, it will be more complicated than BFD, the one that we already know. Yeah, in the BFD is already box, but in here they will give you the symbol of the equipment, so it will be more crowded. Yeah, I start from this one, toluene. Yeah, and toluene, and then there is a line, okay, which is actually the similar line with the previous. Yeah, but you put the symbol in here. you put the process parameter in here. Remember, for example, the circle, it will be for pressure. Okay. And then following the arrow, it will go to the, okay, a unit so-called TK101. Okay. When you want to see what is TK101, okay, go to the upper side. Okay, you will see around that one there will be a code and then the name of the equipment. Okay, for example, this one TK101 toluene storage. Okay, and also they give you the dimension, the basic dimension, okay, specification of that equipment. For example, in this one is 7.6 meter in terms of ID, okay, and then 1.0 meter in terms of height. Okay, so they give you the basic information, the code, and then the name of the unit of operation, and then the basic dimension. And every line, every stream, they put the number. For example, stream number 1 in this case, and then stream number 2. Okay, so everybody, can you see my pointer, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's mean that number 2 and then number 5, for example, number 4. What is the function of this stream number? When you go down, okay, you will see a table. This one is material balance table. Yeah, actually is what is very long sheet. Yeah, I just cut. Yeah, and then in this table there is information of stream number. Okay, stream number 1, stream number 2, etc. So when you want to know about the stream number 1 data, for example this one, just go to the stream number 1 in the table, and then you will see the information. For example, the composition in here, the flow rate, the temperature, the pressure, and other kind of information. Okay, so that is the reason why PFD is becoming the favorite for the chemical engineer to understand the plant. Okay, because in terms of technical information, I mentioned technical information is already complete. Okay, the complete with the definition of the composition, the definition of flow rate, and then the definition of process parameter for every stream. Look at this one: stream number 1, stream number 2, okay, stream number 5, stream number 4. Okay, they already have their own description in terms of composition, data, and etc. Okay, so and then the equipment, okay, is already mentioned in here. So the chemical engineer will understand. Oh, actually, that is if I want to conduct the experiment, what I have to do, yeah, I have to take the toluene from the storage, yeah, by pump, by using pump, okay, and then after that, I will increase the temperature of toluene before going to the reaction unit. Yeah, so this is the important information that we can have from the PFD. We know, yeah, how they conduct the process, how they conduct the reaction, okay, by showing that this one. Okay, and then also I know about it, how to increase the temperature. From this PFD, I know that they will use fuel gas, okay, to burn in here to increase the temperature, not by using the steam. Because in here I don't have the steam line, I have the fuel gas line. Fuel gas is mean that it will be used for the burning, order for the combustion, and that combustion and that burning system will increase the temperature of the fluid inside this tube. So many important information related with the chemical engineering will be able to known by show this PFD. And then this is the importance of PFD. So this is the reason why the PFD is very favorable for chemical engineering. You will understand about the process. From the BFD, I know that is the industry has the process look like a reaction. And more detail, I will know it from the BFD. Okay, I will continue with this process diagram. This is another example of the process flow diagram. Again, that every unit has the code, the code and then the number. If you want to know about the about what that unit, please go up, and then you will see, the code and then the number, the name of that unit operation. From this figure, we can also understand. This is actually this is the same between this figure and this figure. Is the same process, which is actually want to convert the toluene into benzene. So is it the same? Not exactly the same. Not exactly the same. Usually process engineer or drafter have their own style to draw, similar like you. But remember in the symbol, for example, this one, the symbol of the fire heater, they will use the same. The symbol of heat exchanger, in this case, the same. The symbol of reactor, look at this one, is the same. So the difference actually is the way the line from one to the others, how they they connect it. And then that one is the style of drafter or chemical engineering, how to draw that one. But usually they use the same symbol. Similar like you. You with your friend will have the different if you assign homework with the PFD, you will have a different in terms of the how. For example, in this one, I will put heat exchanger a bit above, but in this case, a bit above, but a little bit in the middle, something like this one. So just this is the style of that drawing, but the symbol they use the same. I will continue. I talk quite a lot. So I will ask to you about this slide. But in reality, this is ideal. When you draw a PFD in ideal, you will have this one. In reality, I took this one from the plan design class. So it's drawn by your friend, your senior. There will be a common mistake. Can you can you tell to me what is the mistake in this PFD? Can anybody help me? To anybody can help me? What is the common mistake in this PFD? Or I will ask by selecting
Sir, I would like to try, sir.
Okay, yes, please.
Is it
Please mention your name, okay, or your ID and your name, yeah.
Dominicus Dennis, name 130 18209?
Okay, 209. Okay, yes.
Is it that the equipments are not given the unique names, sir?
Okay, no unit name. Okay, and then no code, unit code.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, and then what else? Okay, other student. Okay, we have in here 22 students.
Sir, I would like to try.
Okay, please mention your ID and your name.
My name is Aime. My ID is 130 1831215.
Okay, yes, please.
I think uh, the block diagram for sweet gas from AGRU to flare methanol product process water is wrong, sir.
What is the problem, the mistake?
The the very right diagram.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I think it shouldn't be like that.
What it should be?
Mm, the equipment.
Okay. The equipment is wrong? You mean something like that?
Yes, sir.
What is the should be the equipment that used for this case?
I don't know, but I think it's just the composition.
Ah, you mean the what is the table? The mistake is in table?
Uh, Not the table, sir, but the the diagram. I don't know.
Okay, the
Uh,
diagram. Huh?
I'm Fanya. My name is 201. I think what I meant was the leftmost arrow, but the bigger arrow, not the usual arrow for the direction of the flow. Like if we take the sweet gas from AGRU, like the top left part, I
Hmm?
think what she meant was the four big arrows there. The
Yes, I
left.
mean
Oh,
the left one, not the right one. Sorry.
okay. In terms of the what is the size of the arrow? You mean, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any others? Yeah, it's become the question of the last, I think last year exam. Yeah, what is the mistake or what is the okay the incorrect in terms of the PFD? Yeah, okay. I think it's quite a lot. Yeah, when we can see this, when you look at the definition of the PFD. Okay, I will a bit go back to the previous. Okay. Okay, this one is the important of the PFD, that this one, number 4. Okay, no, not number 4. Number 3, flow goes from the left to the right whenever possible. Okay, so in this case, okay, I will put jump. Okay, look at this one. This one is from the left. Okay, goes back to the left. Okay, the good PFD, the fit should coming from the left, and then the product will end up in the right. Yeah, this is the first mistake of this PFD. Okay, And then for the second one, like the Dominicus mentioned, that is, there is no code and then the name of the equipment. Yeah, so we don't know about which equipment is here. Yeah, and then number 3, look at this block fluid, this distillation column. Okay, in this distillation column, we don't have the number of the tray. We know this is a tray system, okay, but we don't know how many number of the tray. Okay, for example, the inlet is coming to the tray number something, okay, but it's not written in here. Okay, so we don't have information about that one. Okay, and then the fourth is related with heat exchanger. Remember that in the information in PFD, we have to be able to know about the utility, whether we will heat with the steam or we will heat with the fire heater, for example, or we will like to cool down with the cooling water or the air cooler and something like that one. So when you look at this one, for example, this from the stream number, what is this? Number 1 or number 2? This one. I think it's number 2. Too small for me. It's the stream number 2. Yeah. When you look at this shell and tube, you will not be able to understand whether it will be cooled down or it will be heated up. Okay, just like jumping this one, no information about this one. Okay, whether they will use steam to increase the temperature, for example, or they will use the cooling water to reduce the temperature, no information. So this is the missing information related with the heat exchanger. Okay, similar with the next 6S exchanger. Okay, we don't know about this information, whether it will cool down the temperature or heat it up the temperature. Okay, we don't have information about this one. And then this one for the sperator, remember about that consensus or agreement, the gas will go up. Yes, it's correct. The gas will go up. Yeah, but the problem in here is the liquid is coming from the bottom, but in this case, it's coming from the side. Okay, so it's not clear again about this one. Okay, whether it should be the bottom liquid and etc. Okay, so again in this PFD also the heat exchanger is not clear. Okay, look at this second PFD. Okay, any quick comment related with the second PFD?
Sir, can I
Yes.
try?
Yeah.
So in this PFD there are no tables and the flow inlet and outlet it's from everywhere.
Okay, yeah. First impression when we look at this PFD is crowded. Yeah, it's very crowded. It's difficult for us to understand. Yeah, the space between one unit to the other unit is very, very close each other. Okay, so this is the first impression. Second, it's correct from your okay. So there is no information related with the table, the PFD. Yeah, but this one is much better compared to the previous, although still that there is missing in here. First is still with this one, yeah, the heat exchanger. We don't know whether we would like to heat up or to cool down. Yeah, although the unit is shown to be very complex in here, but it doesn't mean it will make the process clear. Okay. And my suggestion is use very simple symbol, but it's clear. Okay, to understand whether it will temperature down or temperature will increase. Okay, and then the second is there is another symbol, strange symbol for me. Okay, which is this one. Okay, this symbol again is not standard for the chemical engineer. So chemical engineer will not understand whether the symbol is, what is the symbol? It is mixer or it is a kind of splitter, or a kind of unit operation that produce the one inlet stream and outlet stream, and I don't know. The second is the arrow. Please look at this one, no arrow in here. So because there is no arrow, so we confuse whether this one is coming from that this strange symbol to the reactor, or reactor coming to this strange symbol. Okay, yeah? So still there is although this one is much better compared to the previous one, yeah. This is really terrible. Yeah, sometimes when you don't have any time to do, usually that the student will just send this figure as the answer for the assignment or for the homework. Yeah, my suggestion as you will graduated for the chemical engineering of ITB. Yeah, although ITB is currently number 5, yeah, in Indonesia. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Yeah, but in Indonesia, chemical engineering ITB is still number 1. Yeah, and then our rank in the world, yeah, not so bad. Okay, we have the same rank with the, for example, Hiroshima University, and also 1 or 2 university from United States. Yeah, yeah. So please don't submit homework. Yeah, something look like this one. Okay, the first impression that coming to you. Okay, okay, from the first and the second example of the PFD of your student. Yeah, actually that is okay. Yeah, this one is okay, just a bit corroded. I mean, this is also okay. But in this one, I think you already know. Yeah, no information about the inlet. Okay, no information about the unit operation. Yeah, no information about the heat exchanger. Yeah, and many things. Yeah, so it's mean that is this kind of example. Okay, please do not copy like this one. Okay, and then I will continue with the process flow diagram. Okay, so process flow diagram, you will know about the stream number, and then in the table of the master heat balance, there will be information related with temperature, pressure, vibration, and etc. Okay, and then this one is also available for the optional information. Okay, for the mole fraction, mass fraction, it's optional. Okay, but in the individual component flow rate, it should be. Okay. Okay, so this one is optional, yeah, optional. It's not necessary. Okay, to be provided. Okay, now I will move to the last principal diagram of chemical engineering, which is PID, or piping and instrumentation diagram. Yeah, different from the process flow diagram. Yeah. PID sometimes is called a mechanical flow diagram. Why is a mechanical flow diagram? Because in the PID, yeah, they omit or they remove the information of the process. They just put the information related with the mechanical and inspection. Okay, so this is the reason why they call it PID as a mechanical flow diagram. But we have to understand about the piping and instrument diagram, or PID, because this is the way we communicate with the mechanical engineer. Yeah, so it's not only with the chemical engineer, but also with a mechanical engineer. Usually, mechanical engineer doesn't care or doesn't understand or do not understand with the process. Okay, they only care about the mechanical of the plant. Okay, for the process, they think that is, That is the job desk of chemical engineering. It's not necessary for me as a mechanical engineer to understand about the process. Okay, I will just deal with the mechanical one. Okay, and you for the chemical engineer, okay, you cannot only say that is, hey, I'm process engineer. I'm just dealing with the what is process or reaction or spiration in the process in the plant. Okay, not something like that one. You have to deliver the information related with the process with mechanical engineer. Okay, one of the communication with the mechanical engineer is a kind of this diagram, piping and instrumentation diagram. Okay, so in the piping and PID diagram, okay, you will not find any more data related with the process. Okay, but you will have the information, general information, okay, related with the equipment. Okay, I will jump directly to give you insight related with this piping instrumentation diagram. Okay, please look at this slide. Okay, okay, the shape is more complicated. Okay, rather than PFD. Sometimes then in one sheet or on one screen of that paper, yeah, is only one equipment. Yeah, similar like this one. This is only one equipment. Okay, because why? Because we provide many information related with the piping and mechanical. Yeah. So what kind of information that we provide? Look at this one. Yeah, look at this figure. In this piping instrument diagram, the things that we have to provide is the control system. Yeah, how to control this unit. Okay, in the plant we control related with the flow rate, temperature, pressure is only deal with the valve. So that's why in the piping and instrumentation diagram you will see so many valves. Okay, for example, this one, 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 this one. Because why? The instrument for controlling fluid in the plant is usually only valve. Yeah, so please write down what is the important of piping instrumentation. Number one is the controlling system. Okay, how we control about this unit. The second one, the information that we can have from that PID is the safety system. Okay, safety system. For example, this number 7. Okay, in this unit, okay, we understand that there will be a safety system when there is an catastrophic or incident. Okay, that the fluid can be fanned to the flare by using this line. Okay, number 7. Okay, and also for the V104 vessel 104, there will be also number 7 in here. Also for this one, the relief valve number 7. Okay, for the safety system. Okay, whether it will go to the flare or whether it will go to the atmosphere. Okay, so we know information related with the safety system in here. Okay, the third thing that we can see, we can obtain from the piping and instrumentation is the redundancy of the equipment. How many parallel system that we can have? For example, this one, pump. Okay, in this PID, I will draw all the parallel system that I have. It means that in the plan, I will have the P102, okay, identical AB 2 unit, okay, that install in the plan. Okay, so it's mean that if I fail to operate 102A, there will be a backup from P102B. This is the important one. Yeah. So I mean that is if there is a failure in the one equipment, so I can operate the other equipment. That is called as redundancy principle. Okay. And then what other information that I will have related with mechanical again? You will know about the material. For example, this one. 3-inch schedule 40 for CS, carbon steel. Okay, so I will know that this pipe will have the material carbon steel. Okay, the dimension of this pipe is 3-inch schedule 40. Okay, yeah. So the last one is related the information with the utility. For example, utility is for example sampling. Nah, you will know that is there any sampling point in this equipment? Look at in the PNID and then find the sample point number 5. Oh, so in this unit, can I find number 5? Oh, yes, in here. Okay, so it's mean that if you want to do the sampling, there will be a sample port, located in the feed. Before going to the column, you can have the sample point here. Okay, how about the other position? Is there any sample point? Oh, okay. Also, you can have the sample point in phase 104. Because why? Because there is there. Number 5, which we can sample that. Sample point is important. Why? Because when your product is not specified or not match the specification, you need to sample to make a sampling. So this again the important. This the five thing that you have to understand related with the piping and instrumentation diagram. So for the piping and instrumentation diagram, I will continue next week. Because there is other types information that you have to understand. For example, related with the signal system. Something like this one. We have the PT. There is a what is other information that I will provide next week, related with this one. It is related with the safety again, which is the, for example, the alarm, about the shutdown system, and then how about the instrumentation and control system, whether it's automatic or it is the information can be shown in the DCS, distributed control system, or the local panel. Local panel means that the panel is located near the unit operation and you have to go there. You cannot do the operation from that control room. You have to come to the field, see it there. This is local panel. Okay, do you have any question related with the today material? Hi guys, anybody? Or you think that is, oh, today material is okay, so heavy. Yeah, so okay, not heavy, right? This one.
I think it's clear, sir.
So it's clear, yeah? Okay, so because you mentioned it's clear, so you will have a homework. Okay, homework. Homework number 1. Okay. Write a description of the hydroalkylation process, toluene to benzene. The BFD, so I already explained to you. And then this one is the BFD for the toluene to benzene based on the following BFD. The main reaction is right down there. So your homework is just try to make a process narration or process description about this PFD. Is it clear, the homework?
It's clear, sir.
Okay, it's clear, yeah? So I
Clear,
give
sir.
you the PFD. You have to exercise how to write down a process, yeah, based on this PFD schematic, this PFD diagram. Okay, and then the due it will be before next meeting. Yeah, so it should be on Thursday. Yeah, our meeting is Friday, so it should be Thursday. Okay, is it clear? Okay, and then for this assignment, yeah, you can upload to the MS Team, yeah, MS Team. Yeah, I will use the MS Team. So I will done screenshot this as the assignment, and then you can submit it through the MS Team assignment panel. Okay. Okay, any question, any suggestion, any comment for today class? Is it clear or not clear? Or there is something that you don't understand and then is needed for me to repeat section of the class?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Okay, Dominicus, please.
For the unique names, it said V101 and C101. Does V always mean vessel, or is there like a specific way to name the unique names?
Okay, so for the code, okay, any code, it's usually depend on the company system. Okay, for example, okay, for the V, for the vessel, okay, sometimes when I visit a plant, okay, for example, multinational plant, they will not use V. Okay, sometimes they use the what is the code is T, gitu ya. I don't know about whether it's T is tank or something with the so it's depend on the company, okay, that they will use the standard for their own name system. Yeah, for example, also for the compressor, sometimes they use K, sometimes they use C compressor, but the one that you see, usually C is for column. Again, that the definition depend on the each company. Each company have a different. Although sometimes also the code will not be something look like ABCD. They will use the only number system. Yeah, usually the name what is the ID of the area, and then also the ID of the unit. Yeah, similar like your ID. Yeah, there will be no what is abjad ABCD. Yeah, directly 130 and then batch year and then your ID number. Similar like that one. Okay, so it's actually depend on that company system. Okay, but for the general one I mentioned is general. Okay, usually we'll use V for the vessel. Okay, and C for the compressor, T for the tank. Okay, something like that one. Okay, that's for the general. Okay, but again, when you work in a company, specific company, every specific company has their own system in terms of numbering and also for the giving a code of the unit operation. Okay, is it clear? For
Yes, sir.
Dominicus?
Clear. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Uh,
Fikrai.
yes. Is tray column represented with straight line or dashed line, or are they the same?
Okay, whether the tray we will use the dash line, horizontal line, yeah, for the straight line or dash line, it's okay. It's depend on you whether you would like to use the dash line or the solid line, gitu ya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any others? question? Okay, if there is no question, I hope today class is clear to you. Yeah, but again, if you have any suggestion, any question, any comment related with the class, yeah, please mention or say it in our WhatsApp group. Yeah, I will be happy to respond that. Yeah, and then I will stop today class. Okay, and then also I will upload this recorded video to the YouTube.